Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore, RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, Ravens fans. You might want to buckle up because what's circulating around the NFL right now could have huge implications for our team's future, especially when it comes to adding a game-changing piece to our offense. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could send Travis Kelce, the superstar tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, right into our division, specifically to the Baltimore Ravens. And let me tell you, this isn't just some idle speculation. The whispers come from credible sources, and the impact of such a move could be seismic, not just for the AFC North, but for the entire AFC landscape heading into the postseason. First off, it's important to understand why this rumor is gaining traction. The Kansas City Chiefs, sitting at a 5-4 record, are in a bit of a tricky spot. While Kelce continues to be one of the most prolific tight ends in NFL history, the Chiefs are facing some challenges that might push them toward making a strategic move. Their offensive line has been a concern lately, especially with sacks allowed, and they've been prioritizing shoring up that area. Kelce, despite being the heart and soul of their offense, is not immune to the wear and tear of a long season, and he's also due for a hefty cap hit of around $18 million next year. So, the idea of trading him isn't just about cutting costs. It's also about rebalancing their roster and cap structure, especially since their secondary has struggled this season, reflected in their 5-4 record. Now, sources like ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and others close to the league suggest that the Chiefs are open to trading Kelce, and they're looking for a solid return, possibly a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, along with some cap relief. The theory is that trading Kelce now could be a way for Kansas City to prepare for a future without him, especially if they're thinking about a rebuild or retooling their roster to stay competitive once the window with Patrick Mahomes begins to close. The trade would send shockwaves through the AFC West, shaking up the division hierarchy and giving the Ravens a golden opportunity to bolster their offense with a tight end who's not just an elite receiver but a matchup nightmare for defenses. Imagine the Ravens, already armed with Mark Andrews, adding Kelce to their arsenal. This pairing would elevate the red zone offense to another level. Kelce's route running, physicality, and reliable hands. He's currently averaging 56. 9 yards per game with 9 touchdowns on just 9 games in 2025 make him a perfect complement to Andrews. And let's not forget, Kelce is a proven winner, a multiple-time All-Pro, and someone who's been a consistent threat since he entered the league. His career stats speak volumes, over 12-0 receiving yards and 80 touchdowns. So bringing him into the Ravens fold wouldn't just be about adding talent. It's about transforming an already potent attack into an unstoppable force. From a strategic perspective, adding Kelce would create a mismatch nightmare for defenses. His physical route running, combined with Andrews' versatility, would stretch opposing secondaries to their limits. It's about creating options in the red zone, where the Ravens have historically been efficient but could become even more lethal. Kelce's presence would open up more space for Lamar Jackson to operate, whether it's throwing to Andrews or targeting Kelce himself. His ability to generate YAC, yards after catch, is second to none, averaging around 5.2 yards per reception, which aligns perfectly with the Ravens' penchant for explosive plays and dynamic offense. The impact on the Ravens' chances for a Super Bowl run would be significant. Currently, the betting odds for Baltimore to win the Super Bowl are around plus 2,000, but with a move like this, those odds could tighten considerably, potentially down to plus 1,100, or even better if Kelce's presence catalyzes their offense into a new level of dominance. The red zone efficiency would jump from about 60% to over 75%, a game changer when every possession matters in the playoffs. The combination of Andrews and Kelce would be a nightmare for defenses, especially in tight situations where reliable hands and route precision make all the difference. Of course, there are questions and concerns. The Ravens are known for being cautious when it comes to trades, especially for high-profile players like Kelce. But with around $25 million in cap space, Baltimore might be in a position to make this kind of move work. The front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive when the right opportunity arises, and given how much this could elevate their title chances, it's a risk they might be willing to take. Plus, adding Kels would send a message to the rest of the AFC that Baltimore is serious about competing at the highest level, especially with the AFC North tightening up and teams like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh improving. Thinking about how Kels would fit in with Lamar Jackson's style of play is exciting. Lamar's mobility and improvisational skills would complement Kels's route running and hands perfectly. They could develop some instant chemistry, especially in those critical red zone moments where a reliable target like Kels can be the difference between a field goal and a touchdown. And with the Ravens already boasting a solid defense and a balanced offense, adding a player of Kels's caliber could be the final piece to push Baltimore over the edge into Super Bowl contention. Now the big question is, what does this mean for the AFC North and the league at large? Well, for starters, if the Ravens manage to land Kels, it would send a clear message that they are all in on winning now. It would also likely make the division even more competitive, with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh watching intently. But for the Ravens, this is about more than just division supremacy. It's about making a serious statement in the playoffs. Kels's ability to excel in high-pressure situations, combined with Lamar's unique skill set, could give Baltimore the edge they need to finally get back to the Super Bowl stage. And let's not forget the historical context. The Ravens have always been about smart, strategic moves, building through the draft, developing talent, and making key acquisitions when the opportunity presents itself. Remember the 2012 Super Bowl run? That team was built on this same principle. Bringing in a player like Kels would be a move that echoes that winning mentality, one that could define the next chapter of Ravens football. From a betting perspective, the odds are already reflecting some of this optimism, but nothing is set in stone until the trade actually happens. If it does, expect a media frenzy and a whole lot of buzz around Baltimore's chances. The fans would be fired up, and rightfully so. This kind of move could energize the team, boost morale, and add that extra layer of confidence needed to chase another Super Bowl ring. It's about making bold moves when the moment calls for it, and right now, the Ravens have a real shot to do something special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now I want to hear from you, Ravens fans. What do you think about the possibility of landing Travis Kelce? Would you be all in favor of making that trade happen? How do you see him fitting into the offense? Do you believe this move could be the key to finally bringing another Lombardi trophy to Baltimore? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Ravens organization. We love engaging with our community, and your insights help shape the conversation around this team we all love so dearly. And remember, I'll be back soon with more updates on this story and plenty of other news from around the NFL. So stay tuned, stay loud, and keep supporting the Ravens. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this potentially on the horizon, we're all in for a wild ride. Thanks for riding with us, Ravens Nation. Let's keep the faith and keep pushing forward, because when Baltimore is united, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Stay strong, stay passionate, and as always, hallelujah, RAVENS fans.